pleased with that result?
Well, I think we started really well. In the first 20-25 minutes, we got the goal. I think we could score more goals. And then they came back from a set play, and even though I think for moments we control, for others we suffer. It's just the first half. In the semi-final, we knew that playing against Real Madrid is gonna be tough, and just we played the first half, and then we have another game on next Wednesday.
You took the game to Madrid, though, didn't you? It's just the final pass and that killer finish didn't come.
Yeah, we started with courage. We knew that we had to perform at our best level. We know that playing in a semi-final of the Champions League asks you for your best, and I think we started really well. We pressed well, we recovered the ball lots of time, we got out of the pressure. We just we missed that little last pass where we could choose the best option. And obviously, it could be a different result, and also they came back with a corner, and from then, for moments we had to suffer a bit more. But I think in the global analysis, I think we performed well.
One player who had a deadly finish was Christian Pulisic. He seemed like he was in the penalty box for an eternity, and everyone's yelling shoot, but he stayed cool, picked his spot. It was quite a finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, great finish, great composure. When he was in front of the goal, he took the best decision. I think when he's on the ball, without the ball, he makes runs, difficult runs to defend. He's an amazing player, he's a young player. He came here from another country. He's growing, he's improving, new experiences. Obviously, I'm very pleased with his goal because he's a very important player for the team.
It looked like you were going to take a grip on the game, but that Benzema equaliser, that was against the run of play in many respects.
Yeah, it was a set place where we were caught a bit outside. They put the ball, they win 2 headers in the box. He scored a great goal. Obviously he's a very good striker, and obviously for moments he dropped, he got the ball, he created that goal. We have to be aware of, obviously, because on Wednesday we know that is the decisive game, and we have to be ready for it.
You brought on 3 substitutes because of the same starting 11 against West Ham. Was that just to freshen up the side and bring back that urgency in the press?
Yeah, of course. We are a whole group where we work hard every day. We are ready for the manager whatever the decision he takes, and we know that when we play a game every 3-4 days, important games, we are in the final stage of the season where everything is played for. We have the chance to win 2 trophies. So everybody is committed. We are working hard, and the most important is the result, the team, how we perform. And I think as a unit we are all improving, we are all growing.
And similar in the statistics-wise, but overall, away from home, they'll be more than satisfied with not only the result but probably the performance.
Yeah, he will, and I think at times they played some fantastic football. Were they pressed intensely? Maybe not, but they still had to play their way out of some tight situations, and they managed to get Madrid on the back foot at times. And that's a pleasing aspect. But defensively, I think you just got to think about what they have in their armoury. They're solid, they're hard to play against, they're aggressive without the ball, they get up against people, they make you have to work hard for anything in a game. And I think Madrid know they're in a real tie now. I think if anyone was not sure about what Chelsea are about, can they perform at this level, they've shown you, yes, they can come here and they can make it ultimately difficult for opposition teams.
There have been a lot of victories by 1-0, 2-0, 1-0. It's becoming a bit of a theme, Joe, which is a positive one, obviously.
Positive, and good teams have that ability. I think Rio's right in that they're so solid defensively, they've got good intensity. But what I would add on to that, what I think this team do very well, they've got great ball drivers, like Mason Mount, Pulisic. If they play in them pockets, they drive with the ball, they drop off, and then they can take the team up the pitch. The one thing that's let the side down is the finishing touches. And they need a striker.
Yeah. Do you think Tammy Abraham? I mean, look at Tammy Abraham on the pitch, and his goal ratio is pretty good.
I'd be
if I were him, I'd be a little bit upset, and he possibly is, at not getting a game because Timo Werner's so out of sorts from.
If you're a centre forward like Tammy and you've scored as much goals as him, top scorer last year, Tino's come in for a lot of money and he has to make a decision, the manager. But Tammy will be sitting there thinking, imagine him if that ball drops me in the semi-final of a Champions League, he's going to tuck that away, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? When we were talking off air before we came here, but a young player, does he get the time that a Timo Werner gets, a big signing gets when they come in?
No, they never do.
And they're not treated with as much maybe as care and understanding of their character and as with the cotton wool that a new signing gets. I know it's an investment, but also you're investing in a young player. A young player adds so much value to a team, and they don't ever get that time, that patience that a new signing gets. Because Tammy wouldn't get the time.
No, but of course, everybody labels Timo Werner as not a natural finisher, and yet again tonight it's been proved right to a certain extent. You still feel that he will not score enough goals. I mean, his first one today was a good save, but he should have scored, shouldn't he? He should have scored. He should have set Chelsea on the way to a victory tonight. So that will be labelled at him all the time. And if you're a Tammy Abraham, you must be thinking, or even a Giroud, you must be thinking, what do we need to do to play tonight?
Well, he scored at the weekend, but he missed a sitter at the weekend. He missed another one tonight. If you're Tammy, you're sitting there going, right, OK, I've got to be playing at least at the weekend, put myself in the shop window for the next game against Madrid.
And a World Cup winner, Olivier Giroud as well. That's worth pointing out. One man who did show a little bit of composure was Pulisic. Took his chance really well, didn't he?
It was a strange goal, wasn't it? But for Madrid to concede,
weird defensively, wasn't it?
No pressure on Rudiger, simple run, and actually it wasn't a great touch. But for him to be composed and take it round the goalkeeper and finish it like you'd expect him to do, it was a wonderful start after Werner missed.
Nacho's very strange movement here for Rio. Explain that to us, please.
I don't know where he's going. He's run to Varane saying, "Get up! Where are you going? You've run straight to goal when you should have been going in there to Pulisic and guiding him outside the pitch and outside the box." But he allowed him to come back in. The two defenders then go on the line, and Varane he's motioning there like, "Get up! What are you doing?" But composure of the highest order once he gets round the goalkeeper.
He took 8 touches in the box, right? And if you look on the first angle, you'll see Kroos and Marcelo labouring back. Like the first 15 minutes of a Champions League semi-final, the experienced players should have been able to. To have 8 touches in the box in any game, but in a semi-final of a Champions League's first 15.
Liverpool reported a £46 million pre-tax loss for the financial year ending May 2020, figures that suggest why the club's owners were prepared to join the failed European Super League plan. Just a week after Liverpool were forced to pull out of the controversial Super League following a furious public backlash, the reigning Premier League champions revealed the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The loss of significant media revenue and matchday income at Anfield in the final quarter of the results amid the lockdown contributed to a £88 million negative swing in just over 12 months. Liverpool reportedly estimate they will have suffered a financial hit of around £120 million by the time supporters are allowed back into matches. In March 2020, Liverpool announced a profit of £42 million, but that surplus was wiped out after last season was suspended in March and then restarted behind closed doors. The pandemic fallout convinced Liverpool's owners Fenway Sports Group to sell a 10% share in the club last month for £543 million to private investment firm Redbird Capital. Also included in their income for the year was about £3.4 million for winning the 2019 Champions League final as it fell just outside the previous financial reporting period. 8 new partnerships were announced during this period while Carlsberg renewed their long-term association. Commercial revenue rose by £29 million to £217 million, but that could not compensate for media revenue dropping by £59 million to £202 million, and matchday revenue was down £13 million to £71 million. Wages across the club also rose to £325 million from £310 million. This financial reporting period was up to May 2020, so approaching a year ago now, Liverpool managing director Andy Hughes said. It does, however, begin to demonstrate the initial financial impact of the pandemic and the significant reductions in key revenue streams. We were in a solid financial position prior to the pandemic, and since this reporting period, we have continued to manage our costs effectively and navigate our way through such an unprecedented period. We can now look ahead to the conclusion of this season and hopefully a more normal start to next season.